John Cena and Bray Wyatt are going to go head to head at WrestleMania 30. I can't wait for this match. Welcome back, everyone. This is going to be continuing my series of talking about WrestleMania 30 matches, breakdown, talking about each one. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. It's one that deserves to be talked about in some length because, well, first I'm going to talk about Bray Wyatt a little bit. He's one of the newest. He and his guys, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, are some of the newest guys on the main roster that have recently been brought up from NXT, and they've been making quite the impact on Raw, SmackDown, Main Event, all those shows, and doing a great job. First of all, I can talk a little bit about his henchmen too. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. They're not really listed in this match per se, but they're going to be with Bray Wyatt. They're going to accompany him to the ring, and it's one of the most unique entrances that we've seen from a wrestler in years. You can compare it to and rank it up there with the likes of the Undertaker, for crying out loud. Who else has that unique of an entrance? The lights go out, the creepy music kicks in, and they come down, and it's dark and it's mysterious. Just everything about them is so excuse me, so original. Pardon me. I love these guys. I was following them for a while on, Bray Wyatt started out as Husky Harris in one of the first seasons of NXT, when NXT was its own. It was its own show. It's completely different back then from what it is now. Now it's its own brand itself. Back then, it was just a showcase of new talent and had them jumping through hoops, and it really was an embarrassment. It really was. It was fun to watch, but it was, after a while, it just got dumb. It was, here's a topic. Talk about flowers. Putting them on the spot and just embarrassing them. And then, running around the ring and doing these stupid acts. The whole NXT brand has come so far. And now it's producing guys like the Wyatt family. His guys, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, are really something to watch. They may not be the most technical savvy guys in the ring. They're giants. They're big guys. They're not gonna be like Rey Mysterio. They're not gonna be like Chris Jericho. They're not gonna be like Benoit. They're not gonna be like Daniel Bryan. They're not gonna be like those guys. They're giants. They're huge. But they are fast and they are furious. No pun intended to the movie. They're, you've seen guys like Big Show in the ring for years, And he's still a fan favorite, even if he, does go bad once in a while and turns on whoever. He's fun to watch, but, he's, a lot of people call him the big slow, It's sad because, well, he is big and he can't run around really quick. These guys, oh my God, they move lightning quick and they're dangerous. This past, was it Monday night? Was it this week or last week? One of the last shows that the Wyatt family was on, Luke Harper dove out of the ring. How many guys almost 7 feet tall do you see dive out of the ring to someone else like the Usos do? Just unbelievable. It's that's just one example of how good these guys really are. And they're pulling off new moves. They're unique. They're different, and they complement Bray Wyatt really well. They may not say much, but their presence, man. Luke Harper looks like straight up Charles Manson psycho, and he gives you that wide-eyed look. Oh, it's just priceless. And then, of course, we go to Bray Wyatt. He's come up from NXT with these guys, and he's been honing his craft for years. He started this 2-3 years ago, and you can do the research. It's worth looking into if you can find it. Go on YouTube and look up FCW Bray Wyatt. Look at some of his old promos and some of the things he did. It's really interesting to watch. Now, he wasn't always with these other guys. He was with some other guys. They put him with here and there. But the character itself has been similar and has evolved over time. And that's the great part to watch. His promos and things he did. He'd come out and he'd be singing. Which is something he just started doing again recently, instead of just doing his promos, which is it's great to watch. His promos are, no one beats him in promos lately. No one. I mean, there's good ones out there, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's no good promo guys in the WWE besides Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt is at the top of his game right now, and he does all of his own stuff. I'm sure some of it gets tweaked here and there. I'm sure the writers come up to him and say, hey, tonight we want you to talk about this or whatever, and then he goes off of that or whatever he does. But the guy is great at what he does, and he's been getting better and better at this for years. And like they described him years ago when he started in NXT, what did they say? Oh, he's a tank with a Lamborghini engine, something like that, or a Ferrari engine, something to that effect. And he totally is. He's a big guy, but man, is he quick. Just a tremendous guy to watch in the ring. A lot of fun to watch because you don't know what he's gonna do. Some guys it's like, oh, okay, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. He's got a persona. You don't know what he's going to do next. And then that brings us to his opponent, John Cena. Man, I actually looked this up last night because, I wanted to go back because I had forgotten how many times he'd actually headlined. Well, everyone who says they go to WrestleMania is called a headliner. But I'm talking about actually headlining WrestleMania. Just a quick rewind. I jotted them down for some notes. He fought JBL, WrestleMania 21, and won the WWE Championship. Now that wasn't a headliner. Triple H and Batista actually was a headliner that year when Batista turned on Triple H and the whole Evolution thing. But nonetheless, that was his first WWE championship. And that was kind of fun to watch. You know, that should have been bigger. JBL had been the champ for, over a year? SmackDown's longest reigning WWE champion, or whatever he says all the time. He loves to brag about that. God, I hated JBL back then. Still do. So that was WrestleMania 21. 22 versus Triple H. He won that. Versus Shawn Michaels in 23. Won that. That was also, these are all for the WWE Championship. Orton and Triple H. WrestleMania 24. He lost that one. Orton won that one. Versus Edge and the Big Show in 25. He won that one. 26 versus Batista. He won that one. Versus The Miz in 27. He lost that because of The Rock. The next one he lost versus The Rock. That's 28. In 29, last year, he won against The Rock. So that's in a sense, that's 9 WrestleManias in a row that John Cena has headlined for the WWE Championship. Now, he hasn't won them all, but just the fact that he's in the main event for 9 WrestleManias in a row. It's nice to see. Now, don't get me wrong. I respect him and I like him. I don't love him. But it's nice to see him take a back seat to the main event for once. You know, it's about time. Yeah, I know they still consider him the golden boy. But, yeah, to take a back seat and help give a spotlight to a younger guy, step aside, like, well, that's another video I'm going to be doing, but I'll just throw it out there to say Daniel Bryan, step aside, like a guy like Daniel Bryan, take the spotlight. So whether you like it or not, for once John Cena is not headlining this year, and it's nice to see. I'll be doing a prediction video later this week before WrestleMania. Not gonna give my thoughts on who I think is gonna win this one, but that's just a little breakdown of this match. Thought it was worth talking about. It's gonna be one of my favorite ones to see on the card this year. You know, we've seen John Cena, what he can do. He can pull off a very good match. You say a 5-star match, depending on who he's with. You know, some of his top matches have been against guys like CM Punk and, you know, stuff like that. Shawn Michaels. You know, so he is capable of that kind of match. Is he going to pull that off with Bray Wyatt? Yeah, honestly, I'm going to throw it out there now and say I do believe that this match is going to be one of the most exciting ones to watch on the card this year. So that's about all I got to say about this one. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Great build-up. Side note, the promos that they've been throwing out there for the last few weeks, including the Eminem song. I'm not a big Eminem fan. I'm not a big rap fan, but it's interesting. You know, John Cena always has a grand entrance and has had rappers send him out to the ring. I haven't heard anything about Eminem performing this year. That's probably a pretty big. It's probably very expensive for Vince to do. This is costing him enough. He probably didn't want to pay that bill to have Eminem come out for one song. So who knows? But nonetheless, it's going to be great to see. And those are my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching, guys. Stick around for the next one.